What's going on, everyone? So today we're going to be talking about the technical analysis for Bitcoin and Dogecoin. So we're going to do a technical analysis for both of those, and we're just going to get right into it. Remember, I'm not a financial advisor, none of this is financial advice. But let's talk about this because Dogecoin and Bitcoin are inside of some very, very, very interesting areas right now. First, we're going to do Dogecoin, but Bitcoin really does, dictate the whole overall market. But Dogecoin is doing something a little bit differently here. And you can kind of see when you look at the 15-minute charts for both of these that it looks slightly different, even though that they're both going on a slight uptrend here. Dogecoin still looks slightly different. So we're going to start with Dogecoin first. Now, looking at the Dogecoin charts here, the first thing you can notice here is the RSI. So if you look down here, the RSI is actually about to cross up here at the top, meaning that the RSI is pretty much indicating that we're about to have another drop inside of Dogecoin. Because like every single time it has a little bit of a cross at the top, it goes down a little bit. It went down a little bit here, but then it reversed, right? And then it happened again and went down a little bit here, like right here, and then it reversed, right? But this time it's very, very, very high on the RSI. So what I'm looking at here, it does look like Dogecoin is gonna go up just a little bit more. Maybe it'll pull back just a little bit, right? To this little green line right here. And these indicators are the chart prime indicators. Link is inside of the description if you want to see that for chart prime. So definitely sign up for chart prime. But what it looks like here, you can tell the RSI is about to cross over, meaning that it's about to have a small drop here. And that drop is probably going to end up bringing it here to this little green line here for the chart prime indicators. Now, you can also see that this green line here is now also increasing at the same time. By the time Dogecoin gets here to about 0.0618, right, it's probably going to end up meeting right at that support line there. So that's probably where it's going to end up stopping at, right? And then from there, we should see another little increase inside the Dogecoin price, possibly bringing us up to the top of that momentum wave band. And the top of that momentum wave band is pretty much 0.06258. That's pretty much the top of that momentum wave band, right? 0.06258. So it's probably going to bring us there. And remember, this is just a 15-minute chart, which is really a very short-term chart. So I want to show you all what it looks like as well when we look over at the other chart, which is the 4-hour chart. So this right here currently is the 15-minute chart. And now we can go ahead and check out the 4-hour chart here for Dogecoin, not baby Doge. But look, you can see here for the 4-hour chart, it also does show we are supposed to be rising a little bit more. And yes, we should be having a little bit of a pullback. You can see it's pretty much peaking up here at the RSI, just how we looked at the other one. Now, which was the 15-minute chart. Now it's probably going to end up pulling back down like I did here and then stopping before it pulls all the way back down and then going back up. That's kind of what it looks like it's going to happen here. The same thing that happened back here and over here and over here. So we could see that same thing happening again here for Dogecoin. So we may see a little bit of a pullback before another rise here. That pullback could bring us back down here at that support where we stopped at before. We stopped at that same support on the 11th of September. You can actually see we stopped there. So if we do pull back again, it might just do that and pull all the way back there, right? Before we have another increase. I think there's going to be another increase in the price. And the reason why I say that is because you can see whenever we hit the green momentum wave bands, we typically have an increase in price here. So the same thing happened back here. We hit the green momentum wave bands, had a little bit of an increase in the price as the momentum wave band on the top end here. The resistance one kept going down. This one was also going down as well. So it kind of created some type of sideways movement here before we had a big jump and then a drop and then more sideways movement. So pretty much what I'm saying here is that we're probably going to end up increasing in price just a little bit more. And then you're going to see some sideways movement as this momentum wave band curves downwards. And then from there, we're probably going to end up seeing that increase in price, just like how we did here. Hit the green momentum wave band for the support, trade sideways for a little bit, then a pump that gets us to the top end of the momentum wave band as that wave band was going down, and then more sideways trading movement. And then again, what we're probably seeing here is going to be the same thing that just now happened, where we hit the green momentum wave band, we start trading sideways as this momentum wave band at the top, the resistance one is going down, then we have an increase in price that brings us into that momentum wave band area there. And then from there is when we actually see the drop, because we're at the top of the RSI, meaning that we're pretty much going to have a drop here. The RSI is going to bring us all the way back down to the bottom of the RSI. It always happens like that. You can actually see whenever it tops out on the RSI, we always have that pullback. Tops out on the RSI, always have that pullback. Tops out, pullback. Same thing that happened back here. Topped out on the RSI, pullback, topped out, pullback. So this is pretty much the same thing that's happening right now, and we're at the top of that RSI, which means that a pullback should be happening soon for Dogecoin, but not before we have some sideways trading movement followed by a small increase in price, and then we see the pullback. So we'll have some sideways movement, increase in price, and then another pullback. That's pretty much what we're seeing here for Dogecoin. So interesting stuff. Let me know what you guys think about that. Always anything can happen with any type of technical analysis. It could go either way, but when you look at the technicals, that's the way that it looks like it's actually about to go. So let me know what you guys think inside of the comments. Now, moving on to Bitcoin here. Whenever you look at CoinGecko or CoinMarketCap, whatever one you want to look at, you see everything has increased by about 2% in the last 24 hours. Almost everything, right? Except Cardano at 1%. But almost everything is up by 2% or more in the last 24 hours. So that's pretty good. But the problem with this is we are not out of the red zone yet. We are still in the red. So what I mean by we're still in the red, like if you look at this, the second we dropped below this trend line here, and first let's look at the 4-hour chart so you see what I mean. So this uptrend line, which starts all the way from down here December all the way till now, we actually just dropped below it towards the end of August, which is actually a very important thing to look at here. So when we go all the way back here, right, this is about the 17th of August. When we dropped below that, that was a very crucial moment inside of Bitcoin because that pretty much then put us on that bearish path. The second we dropped below that and went down, we then turned bearish inside of Bitcoin. So that's very, very, very important. Let me go ahead and show you guys this without the indicators. The second we dropped below this support and then eventually dropped below that uptrend line, we became bearish inside of Bitcoin. Notice how now Bitcoin is having an extremely hard time trying to get back above that area. In order to become bullish inside of Bitcoin again, we have to get above 28K. And look, as that trend line continues to go up, that price starts to increase as well. So even if we hit 28K now, it's not necessarily bullish. As we go on with time, that bullish area is going to really be dictated by the increasing price of our uptrend here. So as the time goes on, that uptrend price is increasing. At the current moment we're at now, we have to get above 28.7K to be deemed as bullish. As time goes on, we'll then have to be having to get above 29K to be bullish. So yeah, it's we're not bullish right now, and that's what people really need to realize here inside of Bitcoin. There's no bullish movement for us. Now, obviously, right now it seems like it's bullish, right? But this is a bullish fake out. This is a bull trap, and you really want to pay attention to that. So let's bring back the indicators here. And again, they're chart prime indicators, link in the description. But bringing back these indicators, it might look like Bitcoin is about to make its massive breakout. And yes, we are about to have a nice increase inside Bitcoin. I'm not gonna lie. It's probably gonna go up into the 27K area, so close to 28K, right? So you can actually see here on the RSI as it's going up here, it's not even at the top of the RSI yet, meaning that we have more room to go up. So we have more room to increase on the price here. Notice how as we increase on the RSI, it's also increasing on the momentum wave bands. It's also increasing on these areas here. This green line is going to start curving upwards. The momentum wave band is going to curve upwards more. We're going to actually break out of that momentum wave band. Whenever you see the momentum wave bands on chart prime turning pink, that means that we're about to have an extreme increase inside of price. So when you see that pink area, that means we're breaking out on the momentum wave band and we're about to have an extreme increase in price. It's about to turn pink again. Now, if you look back here, the same exact thing happens right before you have that massive increase in price. So whenever it goes pink, you always have that massive increase in price. You can see it here, and then we broke out of the moments of wave band briefly, came back in, turns pink again. We start to increase more, and then now you can even see where we are now. We're still increasing, which means we are going to have a temporary increase here inside of Bitcoin. Now looking over here at the 4-hour charts. you can see that we're literally at the top of the RSI, just like how Dogecoin was. That's why I said they're slightly different, but they're kind of similar, just like how Dogecoin was. But now you see with Bitcoin, it's already crossing here on the RSI. If you actually scroll in here, you can see we are crossing on that RSI now, which means the drop is going to come, the temporary drop, like I mentioned before, probably back down to this red line here, going down to like 26.4K, possibly a little bit lower. But that's probably going to be followed up by another increase inside of price, just like how we've seen. We're pulling back slightly on the 15-minute chart and then increasing in price right after that. Same thing here. Like I said, we're probably going to get into the 28K areas. Now, if we can actually break past 29K, 29.5, 29.6K, we can get back above that trend line and stay above the trend line, then we're bullish. If we cannot get above that trend line and shortly after that, getting back above this 31K resistance, then we're bearish, right? If we cannot get back above this 28.9K trend line and then almost immediately getting above this, which is the 31K resistance, if we can't do that, then we're bearish, right? So we have to be able to do that inside of Bitcoin in order to be bullish. If we cannot, we are bearish. Let me know what you guys think about that. This is pretty much the technical analysis here. And this is just us looking at the bullish scenario. Obviously, if we fail to do that, if we fail to get above the trend line and then get above that resistance up there at 31K, then we will end up pulling back and then eventually breaking down below the 25K support. And then we'll be heading almost immediately down to 20K, 19 to 20K. We will stop at 23K before we hit that area. But let me know what you guys think about this, because this is a reality that's happening right now in the crypto market. We're about to have another drop. I truly believe we're not getting up to 31K. I'm just showing you guys like what could happen if we were to become bullish. Then that's what would happen. But other than that, we're going down to 20K, 19 to 20K. And a lot of other Bitcoin analysts also believe the same thing. Like, they've done the numbers, they've done the technicals, they looked at it and they're like, okay, we're definitely going down to 19 to 20K. And I'm looking at it and I'm seeing the same thing. We're going down to 19 to 20K, right? But if we were to not go down to 19, 20K, then that would be the path that it follows. But yeah, we're going down to 19, 20K. That's what I see here. Anyways, like I said, this isn't financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor at all. Let me know what you guys think about this. Definitely hit the like button and subscribe, all that good stuff. And check out the link in the description for the chart prime indicators, best indicators in the game. And as always, I'll be back with another video.